Next, I have Mapping the... Nope. What up, nerds? My name is Leslie Smith. Welcome to the Nerdy Narrative, a little channel I created to talk about all of the things that I read. Today, I'm going to share with you my January TBR, all of the things that I am planning on reading this month. And straight out the gate, let me start with the things that I do not have a physical copy of, because if I don't, I will plumb forget. Starting off with In the Hills Above the Grist Mill by Calvin Ellis. This is a new author to me. This was a book that my friend Sharon Dwyer told me about, and she was like, hey, how about we buddy read this together? And I said, sure. This one is marked as a Paisley Mott mystery. So I'm very excited about that because the title sort of lends a horror feel to it, but then that little tagline says mystery. So I'm really excited to read Calvin Ellis for the first time because he's an author that's been on my list for quite some time. Next up in January, I'm gonna start my adventure with A Many Tale. This is found on a website called amanytale.com by Jacob John White. I will have that website on the screen as well in the description box down below. How this works, it is told in episodes. Right now, at time of filming, there are 20 episodes available, so I'm probably going to read at least one per week. But wait till you hear what this is about, and I have a feeling some of you are going to join me for this. A Many Tale is a cosmic fantasy serial chronicled from the perspective of a strangely intelligent mouseling, Opaline, a world walker who is cursed to blip from universe to universe, time to time. Opaline is thrown between planets and dimensions as well as years at a whim's notice. A time-traveling vagabond against his will, Opaline searches for purpose in his misadventurous quest, conversations, and interactions with people, mostly peculiar ones, he meets along the way. Only by spinning his top and counting how long it takes to fall does Opaline know how much time he has left on any given world or in any given time. An existential story of love, purpose, and willpower. How can you say no to that? I'm really excited to get into this series and see what I think, but as soon as I saw it was a mouseling that time traveled, I was in. All right, so let's get into the books. First up, I am going to continue my trek through Junji Ito's work. I was able to get his Frankenstein collection from my library. I am extremely excited to read this. Look at that cover. Like, he is so odd with his art. This one's actually a story collection, so I'm going to get into that. Also from the library, I was able to get Remina. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. We'll hope so. I really want to get into more manga and comics this year. I kind of fell off the wagon the latter part of 2021, so I want to get back to that. Next, I am starting my journey through the realm of the Elderlings, and this time I'm going to finish. I'm going to do one book per month. I am going to start off by rereading Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, and I have these beautiful covers. I do have the original mass market paperback for the Farseer trilogy, but you guys know how I feel about reading mass market paperbacks now. I am so ready to be back in Robin Hobb's world. Her prose is absolutely gorgeous. Her character work is just unmatched. So I'm looking forward to starting my journey through the entirety of the realm of the Elderlings. Next, I have Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones, an author I discovered in 2021 and just became enamored with. A lot of my friends that have read this really enjoyed it. They say it's fun, but it's Stephen Graham Jones, so I know there's going to be some horror in there somewhere. And then next up, I will finally be trying out Sarah Beth Durst. This is her standalone, The Bone Maker, and buddy read number 2 with Sharon Dwyer. I cannot wait. I have heard so much about this author, and if I like The Bone Maker, I think I'm going to give her Queen series a try. I think it's a trilogy. It's like 3 books that are the queen of something, perhaps. I don't know. We'll get to it at some point. That's a really cool cover. Not as good as Gideon the Ninth, but it's close. And I'm hoping to read the Final Babel in January because I never got to it in November. I never got to it in December. Maybe January's the month that it finally happens. You know what they say, the third time's a charm. It may be somewhat my fault. I just don't want this series to end. I mean, I want to know how it concludes, but then again, I'm sad that it's going to be over because there are some characters in the series that I just absolutely adore. What I do believe is going to be a favorite trilogy, one of my favorite fantasy trilogies of all time, the Winter Night Trilogy, Book 2, The Girl in the Tower. I really wanted to pick this up as soon as I finished The Bear and the Nightingale, which was a complete surprise hit for me. I absolutely love The Bear and the Nightingale. I wanted to reread it immediately. I do hope that energy carries forward in this one. I have no idea what it could possibly be about other than there's a girl in the tower, but I see my favorite character on the front and that's all I care about. I know that has to be Solovey, and I am just... I cannot wait to get back to Vasya and Solovey and see what they get up to in the second book in the Winter Night Trilogy. This one I have never heard about in my life, was not on my radar on any book list of any kind until I met Josephine from Feeny Reads. And if you watch her channel, you know what's coming. Green Rider by Kristen Britton. This is the first book in the Green Rider series. I think there are 6 novels and a novella, or there may be 7 novels and a novella. Feeny Reads is hosting a read-along of the entire series. I will have her announcement video down below so you guys can check it out if you want to join. All I know, it's a fantasy series and these horses play a big part. That's really all I needed to know. I love horses and I love magic. And if they're talking horses, you can't lose. You absolutely can't lose. But this is one of Fanny's favorite series. She's read it so many times, so it has to be good. When somebody reads a series that many times, I think she has like 3 different copies of the first book, and she really wants to get this one because either the trade paperbacks went out of print for a while or they weren't an option and now they are. So I'm excited to start that with my friend. I'm excited to possibly discover a new favorite series for myself. So next on the list, Guy Gavriel Kay was an author I read for the first time in 2021 with Tagana. I knew instantly I wanted to read everything I could get my hands on by him. He is an absolutely phenomenal, classic, epic fantasy writer. Historical fantasy. I mean, he just does everything and he does it really, really well. This is a standalone. It's a little skinny sucker too. And this will be my 3rd buddy read with Sharon Dwyer, who also, I see down here, it says international bestselling author of Children of Earth and Sky. Sharon actually bought that book for me by him as well, and we're gonna buddy read that one too. So I'm looking forward to reading more Guy Gavriel Kay. I feel that he is going to earn a place at the table of some of my favorite fantasy authors of all time. This author, this world has been on my monthly TBR. This world has had a place in almost every weekly wrap up last year. It became a favorite series, a favorite author, and I have finally reached the end of the First Law world. The 3rd book in the Age of Madness by Joe Abercrombie, The Wisdom of Crowds. I just don't know what I'm going to do with myself when Penny and I finish this book. I have been reading Abercrombie for so long. I do believe he has another series that I'll look into, but I'll likely take a bit of a break before I start that series. But I am just so sad that this is about to be over, at least for the first time. I will absolutely read these books again, 100%. There was just too many good things that happened, and now that I'm seeing towards the end here, just so many things that were set up along the way that I didn't recognize that were happening, that I want to go back and I want to read it with the knowledge of how it all ends and just see what all I missed. But I am just so sad that it's going to be over, but I'm excited for the ending. I can't wait to read this book. And then my January patron pick of the month is All Systems Red by Martha Wells. This is the first book in the Murderbot series. I believe they're all novellas, actually. I mean, these are little tiny digestible chunks. Should be a really fun palate cleanser. From what I understand, from what I've heard, a lot of people seem to love these books. I know there's been a few people who didn't like them because I think the main character is a robot who loves watching soap operas. I'm just failing to see how I'm not going to love this. I'm very excited to try Martha Wells for the first time. This has been on my radar for a long time. Doug, my patron who chose this for me, thank you so much for making sure it got moved up higher on the list faster. That will bring us to the end of my January TBR. And as far as a TBR to start the new year off, I picked an all-star cast, I do believe. I am excited for all the authors that I've read previously. I'm excited to read more about authors that became favorite authors of mine last year, and I'm excited to try a couple of new authors as well. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll come back to see what I think about some of these books as I make my way through over the course of the month. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.